They come when you least expect it, while you sleep, while you dream, reaching through the darkness of your own headboard. Doctors call it a nightmare, but you know better. Not tonight, not tonight! Watch out, little Timmy. Turn out your light and pray that the hand doesn't get you.
That's the version they sold you in the 1930s. Rubber hands, organ music and theremin, something you could laugh off before bed. But here's the version nobody dramatized. You're awake, not dreaming, awake, and you cannot move. Not won't, can't. Not your hands, not your jaw, not even enough to make a sound past your throat. And the room isn't empty. Ask anyone who's felt it, and the details line up in a way strangers shouldn't agree on. Weight on the chest, a shape at the front of the bed, or behind you. Close enough to feel before you see it. A sense, not a guess, a certainty that it's been watching you long before your eyes ever opened. That part's not folklore. That's the same report from Osaka to Ontario for centuries. This is Both Eyes Open. My name is Darren Vickers, and this is Did I Wake You? Here's the pencil.
Alright, so I guess for this particular, period of time, we'll go back more than 20 years. I used to be a sleepwalker, a chronic sleepwalker as a child. And then I used to also have a lot of sleep paralysis. I'm in the dream, but everything can only move in slow motion. I wasn't fully sleep paralyzed. I was in that in-between space. The first time I was like, oh, here it is again. But when it started to repeat, I kind of got a sense like, this is something. I noticed that it was happening quite often now, 3 times a week, accompanied by strange dreams. I always felt like there was a presence in the room with me. I always picture a dark hooded figure just out of the corner of my eye watching. I even tried prayer, in the name of Jesus and all that stuff, but it was still going on.
My dream world is being superimposed over top of it. I'm seeing hallucinations. The waking world is a background hallucination. Everything's reversed.
I couldn't move. Trying to speak. Little burp here and there. I couldn't get up.
Whether it's some kind of weird spiritual attack, something in my subconscious, a presence that doesn't have my best interests at heart.
REM sleep. Your body paralyzes itself on purpose so you don't act out your dreams. Muscles locked, mind still running. Wake up too early or too late, and the two get out of sync. Mind is awake, body isn't. That's sleep paralysis.
God, if you're real, I'm starting from zero. I want to start from no belief in God and let my life take the path towards belief.
This is when Jamol's mother came to visit.
She said, I'm going to pray through the whole house. She got out her big cross, flicking and praying. I could imagine her volunteering for exorcisms. That's her way. Gives her something to sink her teeth into. I didn't believe in what she was doing, but I believed that she believed. I'm believing in your power of belief in order to get the job done. At the time, I told myself that I don't believe in all this. I think it's like mumbo jumbo. I'm going through a particular a conscious non-belief time. I did believe that my mother truly believed. I had faith in her faith. She believed and she was ready for warfare. I'm ready for battle. She likes a good fight. It was faith in my mother that she had faith. Funny enough, though, is that after the trip and even while she was there, it just stopped and went away. I never had sleep paralysis actually ever again in that particular place. Her faith in that it couldn't fight against. Faith and belief is a power we have. It has to be really genuine. It was enough for her. Enough for a lot of people. I'm processing everything from here. It's my demonstration of faith. That's enough for me. I don't need more. The power of belief. If you believe strongly enough, mind over matter. It doesn't have to be this one way. It could be belief in something else.
Is it mental? Is it spiritual? Is it multidimensional?
I do believe it could start. Just find another way to hide itself. How do we hunt deer? Camouflage. They could be walking among us and we wouldn't even know.
Wherever you are, peace be with you. Remember, patience and peace are weapons of mass destruction. To the ego, the devil, Maya. Patience and peace.
This concludes the first of this cassette. Please turn the cassette over and begin again on side 2.
It usually starts with a mistake. You wake up too quickly or at the wrong moment, like servicing in the middle of something you weren't meant to hear. Your eyes open, the room is still there, but something feels slightly off. Not wrong in a way you can point to, just enough that your brain tries to correct it, like reality loaded in, but not completely. Because waking up isn't instant, it's a process. And sometimes, you stop halfway. In Japan, there's a word for that edge. Kanashibari. Not just paralysis. A crossing. A state where the body sleeps and something else doesn't. Something in the room. Not always the same shape, not always clear, but always described the same way eventually. Still. Too still. In older stories, they gave that feeling names. Tsukimono, something that attaches, or something that was already there, waiting for you to notice it.
My name is Brandi, and this is my first experience with sleep paralysis and the entities. I live in the Pacific Northwest of Canada on Vancouver Island. Growing up there is magical. The forests are tropical and you can get lost for hours and hours just tripping on nature. It is the most beautiful place to live. It's also got some creepy vibes here and there. And this is where my story began. I was 4 years old, 1984, and it was Shawnigan Lake. I had a bedroom with a door leading into a greenhouse, and my head was next to the door, so I could have a very clear view of my bedroom door into the rest of the house. One morning I woke up and I couldn't open my eyes, and I just felt funny, and there was a very static sound and feeling all around me. And I felt an entity enter the room. I felt something, presence near me. I managed to get my eyes open finally, and I see this large dark figure coming into my room, and that's when I realized I couldn't move. So I lay there paralyzed as this thing walked slowly past me, kind of in an antagonizing way. That's how it made me feel. And I felt it brush against my mattress as it walked. It was so close. And then it went past my head, so I couldn't see it because I was paralyzed. I managed to wake all the way up, my whole body, just as I was thinking, that was my mom going into the greenhouse. And as I'm thinking this, my mom walks into my room from the inside of the house. So it was definitely not her. This figure was large, like very rotund, and it was also wearing a hat, but it was not the typical tall hat man. He showed up next. About a year later, so 1985, 86, my room had been moved into the basement corner of the house. And one night I was laying there, not asleep at all yet, and the light was shining into my open bedroom door, so I could just have a little bit of light. And suddenly I see these 3 shadows appear on my doorway, as though 3 people were in the hall outside. And it seemed like they were moving all in a circle, walking around in a circle. And their shadows were being cast onto my door. And it was a tall shadow with a hat. The same first shadow I experienced, the large one with the hat, and then a short one who I immediately felt was a female presence. I assumed the hag that other people experienced.
Most people shut their eyes, turn on the lights to break the moment, but a few hesitate, and hesitation is enough.
They walked around in my hallway, casting this shadow, and then they stopped. And I felt them all looking at me, especially this female energy who definitely, in my opinion, is running the show. And she is calling the shots with the Hat Man and this other entity that I've never heard anybody experience before. I was scared, but I'm very stubborn, and that's all that I had to work with. And I just wasn't allowing their energy near me. And it was kind of like a test I felt that I passed. My third and so far last experience being visited by these 3 entities was when I was staying at my brother's house in the basement, and I had a clear view from my bed of the bottom of the staircase and the illuminated wall from the light upstairs. One night I was laying there and I started going into this sleep paralysis thing, the feeling of vibration and the static sound and all of that. And I was just uncomfortable. But then I felt that presence again. And I looked ahead to the bottom of the stairs, and there they were, the 3 of them, all in a row. Tall, middle guy, little female, just staring at me. And I mean, they don't have features, but you know that they're looking. You just know. It freaked me out. So at the same time, I'm in this middle of going into sleep paralysis feeling, and I completely left my physical body. As you can see in the picture that I drew, I am arched over myself, and I saw my own feet and looked at these entities, and I realized that they were trying to take advantage of a moment when I was very exhausted, and I just went back into my body, and I told them to F off. And I haven't seen them since, but who knows?
My name is Darren. Yeah, me. This is my story. After high school, I moved to Seattle to go to college. My dorm room was nestled on the 3rd floor of one of the halls at Seattle University. Nestled in the corner of the Capitol Hill district, I spent most of my time record shopping, hanging out with my best friend, making music, and running back and forth to my classes at the Art Institute by the waterfront. It was new, a lot of fun, but also filled with a lot of newfound adulting, stress stacking, lack of sleep, and then bills, classes, everything pressing in at once. Feeling inadequate, undernourished, the uncertainty of future, all balancing on a thin thread of hope to become successful in something, anything. And then the rain. Lots of rain. Something started happening. Started with a sound, like a low hum, like it was sitting underneath everything else. The kind of sound you don't hear, you feel. Then the room started to dim, like the edges of the room were being pulled inward. They just stopped existing past a certain point, and the space filled with something black, not empty, dense. I could still see myself, my body, my hands at my sides. I could feel the bed. I just couldn't move. Then, the pressure. Not on my chest, around my neck. 2 hands, cold, tightening slowly, like they were figuring out how much force to use. I tried to speak, but I couldn't. I tried to move. Nothing. The only thing that I could get out, barely, was one word. God. And this is the part that never sat right with me. I didn't wake up because I wasn't asleep. The room came back gradually, not suddenly, like it had never fully left. The walls returned, the sound faded, but my eyes had been open the entire time. I was fully awake, heart racing, breathing was off, and nothing in the room. Nothing at all.
That's the part people don't account for. Not the paralysis or the fear, but the transition. How clean it is. How nothing ends. It just stops being visible. In Shinto belief, dreams aren't random. They're crossings, messages, a bridge between worlds. And if you wake up in the middle of crossing, you don't return alone.